Hello everyone and welcome back to Steam Truck Gaming. With today's news, my name is Kralizec and I will be your host. As you can see, I'm not at my usual place, so you might hear a bit of an echo because I'm visiting my parents for the weekend. Hopefully this won't be as much of a problem. I'm hoping it will be okay. But let's get straight into the news so we aren't here forever. So I know I said I don't want to talk about Star Wars Battlefront 2 anymore, but we got good news. So at this moment, EA removed the microtransactions from Star Wars Battlefront 2. They aren't removed forever, they are removed temporarily, but hopefully it seems we will be getting some changes, and yeah, good. It seems that people's outrage has actually been useful for once. So EA has issued a little bit of a PR response, so let's read it. Thank you to everyone in our community for being the passionate fans that you are. Our goal has always been to create the best possible game for all of you, devoted Star Wars fans and game players alike. We also had an ongoing commitment to constantly listen, tune and evolve the experience as it grows. You've seen this with both the major adjustments and polish and we have made over the past several weeks. But as we approach the worldwide launch, it is clear that many of you feel that there are still challenges in the design. We've heard the concerns about potentially giving players unfair advantages. And we've heard that this is overshadowing an otherwise great game. This was not our intention. Sorry we didn't get this right. Goddamn right you didn't get this right. We hear you loud and clear, so we're turning off all in-game purchases. We will now spend time listening, adjusting, balancing, and tuning. This means that the option to purchase crystals in-game is now offline, and all progression will be earned through gameplay. The ability to purchase crystals in-game will become available at a later date, only after we made changes to the game. We'll share more detail as we work through this. We have created a game that is built on your input, and it will continue to evolve and grow. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is 3 times the size of the previous game, bringing to life a brand new Star Wars story, space battles, epic new multiplayer experiences across all 3 Star Wars eras, with more free content to come. We want you to enjoy it, so please keep your thoughts coming, and we will keep you updated on our progress. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say to this. They turn off their microtransaction, although there is one more interesting thing. This happened directly few hours after the CEO of Disney called EA, the CEO of EA. So there's a good chance that Disney was just so pissed with how EA is handling their brand new brand, because they don't own it that long, and just was like, dudes, what the fuck are you doing? And hopefully this means that we will going to see a bit more of a better business practices coming from EA in the future, at least when it comes to Star Wars, because there are several other games in the EA spectrum that have weird things. Just take a look at the new Need for Speed game, where there are literally slot machines to get your upgrades. Seriously, what the fuck, EA? This year, you're not doing really well. So what happened with Disney is that the CEO of EA, Andrew Wilson, had a phone call with the Walt Disney Company CEO Bob Iger yesterday, and just a few hours after this, the microtransactions were just stopped, as you heard right now. So there is a good chance that Disney is just awesomely pissed. And this could actually mean that EA would be losing the license in the future. I don't know for how long they actually have it right now, but to be honest, at this point, I am actually hoping they will lose it. Because I don't know about you guys, but I personally love Star Wars. And the fact that the worst of the worst studios, or the worst of the worst publishers, more specifically, has it, is not really the thing I want to see from Star Wars. And to be honest, at this moment, I will still say, if you don't own the game yet, wait. Don't buy it immediately, even though they turned the microtransactions off, and everybody will be getting a fair start. Yes, but If I were you, I would wait until they show what the new rates for earning crystals will be, how fast how expensive microtransactions will be in the future. I would still wait at least 2 weeks, maybe even more, depending on how fast they are with their responses and with their changes. If the changes they do are decently quick, maybe in a week or two, Star Wars Battlefront 2 will be a good buy, but at the moment it just is something you should probably avoid buying. At least in my personal opinion, as it is pretty much the only way to actually get EA to go back to some decent business practices. Because at the moment, they are pretty much in league with the devil. Okay, that's one of our 2 news for today. The second one is a bit of a report on what the best-selling games in October 2017 were, at least in America. So right now, the #1 selling game for the US was Middle-earth: Shadow of War, followed by Assassin's Creed Origins, then by Super Mario Odyssey. 4th is South Park: Fractured Butthole, and top 5 being NBA 2K18. There's a list pretty easily available online, and I don't think there's any surprises except maybe for Super Mario Odyssey. I was expecting it to be high, but I wasn't expecting that it's going to be #3. It pretty much means that the Switch is doing insanely well, because if it has one of the top 5 games, then good job. I'm pretty sure that NBA 2K18 is also available on the Switch, so that's probably contributing as well. I'm not sure about the rest of them. I'm pretty sure South Park isn't available on the Switch, at least not yet. Assassin's Creed, I don't think so either. And I'm pretty sure Shadow of War just isn't there right now. The total game sales in October amounted to $474 million just in the United States, so probably around $1 billion around the world, which is pretty impressive, but is still 20% down compared to last year. So it means last year it was close to $600 million. There are a few other things that we can take a look. Interesting thing, racing game sales have doubled compared to last year's October, with overall racing game sales up to 37%. It's pretty much the same thing, but only to 20% was done to role-playing games. Destiny 2 is so far the best-selling game of 2017. NBA 2K18 is the best-selling sports game, which is not a big surprise considering how buggy FIFA 18 was. And Ubisoft was the strongest company of October 2017, and Activision Blizzard was the best for the whole year so far. And Activision Blizzard, it's just Blizzard, you know? Blizzard is just ruling everything. Nintendo Switch was the best-selling console of the month, though PlayStation 4 is still the best overall seller of 2017, though that is again not surprising because Switch released somewhere in the middle of the year. The total spending of hardware was $238 million, which is up by 10%. And just if you go through the whole year, it was $2.3 billion, with the Switch, SNES Classic and PS4 being the largest contributors to the growth, and it's very hard to guess how much of that is actually contributed to gaming hardware, because this year gaming hardware is going through something very weird with the mining craze. Especially the price of graphics cards are insanely high and they are being bought like hell, but not for purposes of gaming. So I'm not sure how that is calculated into these numbers. I'm really not sure. Interesting thing is also the accessories and game cards category, which sounds for some reason jumbled together. Those together sold for $113 million just in the US. A lot of steering wheels were sold, probably because the games like Forza Motorsport and Gran Turismo were released this year. And the best-selling accessory in October was the PS4 DualShock 4 controller, and I'm not really surprised by that. Even though a lot of people swear by the Xbox controller, I still prefer the PS4 one, even though I'm a PC gamer. Overall, I think the numbers are pretty good. The whole market is slightly down, but that can be contributed to the fact that we are still not seeing numbers from Christmas, where we can probably suspect a lot of people buying the Switch this year. And with that will also come games for the Switch. So I'm really excited to see the numbers for the Switch after Christmas, as those should be relatively insane. And with that being said, that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, be sure to give us a like. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. If you're watching this on Steam, be sure to upvote our post and be sure to follow our blog. And with that, that's just going to be it. So see you guys later with more gaming content.